I read and heard what you said yesterday about competitive edge. Do you think it's natural for people to be satisfied? Is that what you're fighting, or not really?
Well, I think it's a human instinct to be satisfied, not just in sport, but in general. I mean, everybody wants to feel good about themselves. Everybody wants to feel that they've accomplished what they needed to. That's something that we're going to find out pretty quickly here. I don't think we're satisfied, but we can say all the right things about being, and to me it's a mental state. It's staying in a playoff mental state. It's easy to say you're going to do it, but when it comes down to doing the things, that's when we're going to find out.
Because of the importance of that, how much of your coaching now will be mental versus physical? Because you've been there, they haven't.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many guys have gone advanced in rounds or won. I don't know. But that's part of our job as coaches is to work on that mental part. We have done that the past couple of days. I thought they practiced much better today than they did yesterday, which is it's encouraging to me. So we're going to have the constant conversation, and we're going to have the constant, I guess, accountability of preparation as we go through a number of days here getting ready to play the next series.
How did you come up with the idea for scrimmage? Is that part of this as well?
Yeah. You know what? Like I told you, I took a day off after the win, and I stayed at home the second day, and I just tried to plan out. And I do think the amount of days we're having off, we can practice them, we can work on mental preparation, but they need to see some 5-on-5. They need to see the best we can get game situation as we can. There's just too many days in between games here. So we're going to I have the team set. We'll put the uniforms on. It's going to be very similar to camp, as we did in camp, except I think I'll play 3 periods instead of the 2. Jarmo came up with the idea. I'm not sure if it's come to fruition here, about inviting the public in to watch it. It's fantastic. Because Jarmo and I were sitting around the office, and Jarmo's the one who said that. He said, why don't we just bring the people in? And I do. I hope they come in. These guys are performers. They want to perform in front of people, not in front of coaches.
Islanders are doing the same thing.
What's that?
The Islanders are doing the same.
Really?
The scrimmage. I don't know if you've been talking to Trotz here.
No, I haven't talked to Trotz at all. I'm not going to talk to him until,
Great mind.
He heard from us.
Hey, John, when you were sitting around coming up with your itinerary for the 4 days, from your experience, are you a guy who hews to that pretty closely, or do you make adjustments as things go along based on what you're seeing in practice and drills and everything?
No, I will make adjustments as far as what we think to need to work on in practice.
Right.
We'll make adjustments on, to me, the biggest adjustment, or the thing I'm watching for, is are we doing our work? Are we concentrating on our work day? So we have the drills. We have a number of things we know we're going to do through them. My biggest thing is our concentration level there, and it was so much better today than yesterday. And listen, yesterday I figured we would come to that, and where they're still feeling good about themselves. It's 2 days off, and so I'm happy the way they approached it. It was more business-like today, so I'm happy about that. That's what I'm watching, and that's where we have to make adjustments as far as how we handle our players in those type of situations.
And if they do get away from the work, do the drills just get harder, more intense? Do you go longer? I mean, how do you?
No. It's not the time of year to punish players, or we still have to be cognizant of how much we're giving them, because we're going to end up playing in a tough series coming up here. It's conversation. It's appealing to them as far as being a pro. And I think a lot of the guys, I think you guys just alluded to, a lot of guys haven't been in this situation waiting for another round. So we got to try to help them. It's not barking at them. It's just making them aware where we're at. Are we doing it the right way right now, these few minutes, or do we need to pick it up? So those are the things we go through.
The flip side is the time off also gives you guys some chance to kind of rest up and,
sure.
and heal up, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That's how important is that?
Sure it is. Yeah, I think if I have to look at the end goal and winning. If you're looking at the end goal and winning, and you play 4 rounds, eventually you'd like to have a round where you do have some days in between. We've been fortunate to do it in the first round, and we have a bunch of days in between. I hope it helps us as we get going. If we can, it can do nothing but help us as long as we keep a playoff mental state, and that's the hard part. And the team we're going to play, they'll probably have a couple days after whoever wins. They're going to be still in that area of playing, where we're going to have Easter off tomorrow. They have the whole day off. It's Easter with their family, which is great. I'm glad they have that opportunity, but we have to make sure we handle ourselves the right way.
And you like when teams, players in their positions are a little uncomfortable. You said when you bring in a Texier, and that sort of gets guys thinking who's going and where.
Yeah.
Now you bring in Gavrikov.
Yeah.
Same thing on the defense. How beneficial can this be to be bringing in new blood to the team at this time of year?
Yeah, and they're good players. From what I understand, this Gavrikov is a really good player. I'm not sure where it all goes. I weigh that versus chemistry of the team and winning a first round. I've got to weigh all that stuff. But as I said in putting in Texier, it's the time of year we got to put our best lineup out there. And so especially in our back end, we're banged up so much here. We bring a defenseman in that is the quality of this guy. From the reports I get from Jarmo, that does nothing but help this hockey club.
In talks with Jarmo about Texier, what kind of player he was, what he can bring. I'm guessing you had the same thing about Gavrikov?
Yes.
What has he told you about Gavrikov?
Yeah, I'm not telling you. It's just conversations that we've had. And, it's a constant communication between Jarmo, the scouts, minor leagues, as far as what's going on with our players.
You won't describe him as a player?
No.
Would Monday be a more accurate determiner of what his potential is? I mean, you can't tell, or can you tell today?
The scrimmage game?
Of
You got to be really
Gavrikov.
careful. Yeah, it's going to give him, it certainly gives us a look at him playing in a game.
Right.
Those games it's awful tough. We're trying to simulate as best we can, but it's still not a regular game. But sure, we're going to be able to see him moving the puck and all that stuff. So the reason why I don't tell you, I want to see for myself.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think it's going to be good for our team to just play some 5-on-5. And I do. I hope. I'm not sure what happens on it's a Monday. I'm not sure what happens on the Monday if people come in and see the game, but I hope they do.
Well, it's a chance for them to revel in it, to include them.
Yeah,
See if they
and that's
pick-
part of it. I think it's a great idea. I think players are performers. They want to perform in front of people. I think you get more out of them, and that's all I want. I want to get as much out of them as I can on Monday. But on the other side of that, it gives some fans to be around the team before we start embarking in our second round.
What's Bob's status now? Is this maintenance day?
This is maintenance day.
What are his chances of him playing in the scrimmage on Monday?
This is maintenance day today.
And Boone as well?
Maintenance day, yep.
How close are you watching the rest of the playoffs at all?
Well, I'm watching the series that I don't watch the other games. I'm just watching the Bruins in Toronto because that's our next step.
Yeah.
One of those teams. But the other games I haven't. They're on too late, first of all, and so I've been watching Boston, Toronto.
Clearly aware, though, that the Calgary lost. That's 2 top seeds going down. It's kind of weird. I mean, the playoffs are always unpredictable, I guess. But does it seem like this one is even more so, maybe? Or?
I don't know. The only thing when I think of Calgary losing, and certainly not disrespecting that team, Billy Peters is a great coach. They have a great season. But I kind of pull for Bedsy and Prater. Come from our organization, and they've been grinding, and a little closer there. You pull for certain guys. I'm happy for them. I'm not too involved in any of it, quite honestly. We're just scared about our team.
What's been the importance of Kincaid coming to this team? Not only now with Bob being out for a few days to have a veteran in there, but during the end of the season where you were able to give Bob some game days off.
When we first, because I don't think I've really had 3 goalies. I can't remember, but when I thought it was going to be a little crowded, and I left it up to Manny to make sure he takes care of the goalies and how they get their practice time. But it really proved beneficial to us in getting Bob completely away. So in a unique situation, I think it worked out really well. And I'll tell you, the Kincaid, and I feel terrible, he hasn't played a second. I was very honest with him right from the get-go, but he has handled himself so well. Great guy. I guess I know Jarmo showed me a few Twitter things that he does. I guess he's an animal when it comes to that. So he's good to have around the team.
Have you ever used an emoji, John?
Who?
Have you ever used an emoji like he uses those characters? You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. No.
Serious question. A guy like Kincaid, Wenberg, whoever may lose a spot if Gavrikov comes into the lineup. It's a very black and white issue to you who's the better player, who gives his team the best chance to win. But do you feel for those guys at all to be in this situation, to be so close and not to be able to take part?
Oh God, yeah. No. This is I think a little bit different situation because the hockey team just wins around, and went through some injuries, wins around. You also have to balance when guys start coming in here, if I want to put them in there, based on the chemistry of what's going on with our club. So those are things we have to juggle as a coach. But to answer your question, do I feel for the guys? I've always said it this way. I don't feel bad, okay? I feel for them, but I have to make these decisions. I don't feel great about putting them in another rink and practice on their own when we have our numbers here. I just can't practice with so many numbers. I have to make those decisions for what's best for us to get ready to play. And it sucks. It does. It sucks. But I can't do it any other way because what overrides everything about feelings and all that is the best decision for the hockey team to give us the best chance to win. So that's I sleep at night that way.
Yeah. And do you reach out to those guys to make sure that they still feel like they're part of it somehow?
Yeah. There are certain times that, and I told them, at the when this all happened, this isn't to ostracize anybody, but I can't go running around all day long trying to find people to make them feel good.
Right.
If they want to come and talk to me, they have to come and talk to me. It's part of the game. It's part of having skin, and they know that we care about them. The players help that, but we can't have everybody here if we're going to practice the right way and get ready the proper way. So you're damn right I feel for them. It's the worst part of the job is telling people, especially now in playoffs, that you're not playing, and on top of that, you're not practicing with the group today. You got to go off on your own. You're a black ace for right now.
Not traveling either, right?
Yeah. Well, this round here, everybody's coming.
Okay.
Everybody's coming. Yeah. We talked about that at the beginning. We just wanted to get our feet underneath us when we went on our first trip, but everybody's coming. They're going to be part of it that way.
Playoffs have a way of making those guys matter sometimes too.
If you stay in it,
ready, right?
if you do the things we're talking about, staying ready, be competitive, have your mental outlook ready to go, and you're able to keep advancing, you're damn right they come into it. And so that's what they have to wait for.